All right, welcome to the Non-Stuffy Attorneys podcast. Today I am joined with Charles Sanders. Charles, welcome.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. Charles, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you practice, where you're at, all that fun stuff, your law firm name, all that fun stuff.
All right, Joe. My name is Charles Sanders. My law firm is the Rose Sanders Law Firm. We practice primarily personal injury and a little bit of defamation on the side. We used to do family law, but only on very selective, specific situations.
All right, cool. Defamation, that sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, it's like a soap opera. It's probably the most interesting thing that I do.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about it. Like what's
All right, so it started because my wife and law partner Erica Rose got an LLM, and LLM is like a fancy degree you get after your JD before you take the bar exam. I always think it's just so people could not take the test and go back to school for a degree that doesn't help anything. But she had gotten an entertainment law, and she's like, I want to do entertainment law. I'm like, you're not going to make any money in Texas doing entertainment law. And she's like, well, we could do defamation. That's part of entertainment law. And we were using FindLaw to build our website. And they gave us a free directory listing, but we were the only attorney that was listed for defamation. And it was in the middle of COVID. So I guess everybody had all that extra money.
Yeah.
People kept calling me saying, hey, I need your help. And I kept blowing them off like, I'm not helping you. And then after like 3 weeks, I'm like, maybe I could make some money off this. So I started doing the cease and desist letters for $500. And then it morphed into, in Texas, you have to satisfy a statute for defamation called the defamation mitigation statute, where I would have to give you, let's say say something defamatory about me, I'd have to give you a chance to retract, correct, or clarify your statements. Kind of like when the news makes a mistake and they stop and they clarify that fact. So I was doing that. So I started doing that for $1,000. Now, during COVID, it was the most lucrative thing ever, like $20,000-$30,000 a month selling 20-30 letters. But now, ever since COVID ended, it's kind of gotten, now I'm selling maybe one a week. But basically, it's mostly people that are being defamed on Facebook. And someone will post about their business saying that they stole from them and they molested their child. So I'll take a screenshot and send them a letter, tell them, hey, you need to retract, correct, or clarify your statements in 30 days. And if you don't, we're going to sue you. But I never file suit because I've never had anybody that was able to afford to make it through the lawsuit. So we're designed to just try to help your situation. Like I recently did a couple, the two men had just broken up. So one man was posting a lot of private stuff about the other person. One person's telling me that the other person never did anything wrong, that they never did anything wrong. It turns out they were both harming each other. And he responded back to it. A lot of people are responding back with ChatGPT now with their response.
Yeah.
So I was able to get both these guys to enter into a contract. They won't defame one another. And if they do, then they could sue each other for breach of contract. So that's essentially what we do. And I couldn't even think of all the stories. We had one once when a lady went to a David's bridal and she was too heavy set to put a dress on. So she made this TikTok crying about it and it went viral. And David's bridal started seeing a decline in sales over a month. So I had 4 or 5 David's bridals send me money to write a defamation letter to this woman. So I ended up calling the woman and asking her, what she wants. And then I called back David Bridal. She ended up getting some free clothes and everything was fine. But the TikTok was hilarious. I mean, she was really heavy set. So I wouldn't expect that anything from David Bridal would have fit her.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's wild. Yeah,
there's even more. I just can't think of them right now.
Okay. So why during COVID was it so much, but not now?
I think that people weren't doing anything and were on social media more, and everyone had all that free money from the government.
Interesting. Huh.
It's easier to spend when you just get $20,000 for free.
Yeah.
It's easy to spend $2,000 to a lawyer on a letter when you just got $20,000 for free.
Right. Are you working with plaintiffs on that or mostly
we do both. I actually have had more success with paying clients on the defense side. The defense side is more fun because essentially what we do in Texas is the same thing that they modeled off California. So in California, they have something called anti-SLAPP. That stands for Strategic Lawsuits Against Public Participation. Essentially, it protects the paparazzi and the media from taking photos of celebrities and them not getting sued for it. So it protects your right to First Amendment speech. So if someone sues you for defamation, you fire back with this anti-slap motion that makes the judge make a ruling on whether or not this lawsuit was only filed to prevent my right to free speech. So you're putting it in the judge's hands about whether you think that you calling someone a pervert on the internet violated the person's First Amendment speech rights. Most of
Yeah.
the time, the judge is going to rule that it did violate.
That it did.
Yeah, it did.
Hmm.
So I've done, I think, five anti-slap hearings. So when someone sues for defamation, that's what we do. We file the motion to dismiss based on suppressment of your First Amendment right. It was an act that was designed to reduce the amount of defamation suits among regular people and to make it so that it protects your First Amendment right. So, and in Texas, it's the only time where the judge has to award attorney's fees. So if I win on the defense of my defamation, the person that filed the lawsuit has to pay me my fees.
Does that usually happen? Does that usually happen? Like they do pony up, or you
No,
run into?
I've gotten paid all 4 times.
Nice.
But these were companies, these were big suits. I'm 12, 13,000 to get started on one of these motions. I mean, they're about 70 pages and you got to cite the Constitution like you're writing a research paper. So it's not cheap. So everyone that usually could afford to pay me for the motion, usually the people that are suing them they're pretty by the time we get to this point, you're pretty set.
Yeah. Are you using, so for work like that, okay, you got to cite the Constitution, all that. Are you using AI at all for any of that?
I don't trust AI for the case citations because
No?
they're not very good. Yeah,
Okay.
if you give AI what cases, if you have
Yeah.
your own cases and you put them in AI and say, hey, extrapolate this, okay. But if you just tell them, hey, come up with a motion for summary judgment response, I wouldn't trust
Right.
anything that they anything that comes out of ChatGPT or Google's mouth.
Right. Right.
But
How
the
about,
text, yes.
are
Text,
you,
yes.
are you using like, well, what AI do you use?
Oh, I still use Google. And I still use Chat. I feel like archaic for saying this. I saw a video about it. Like I still use Chat GPT.
Okay. So, you use Gmail for your practice? Is that what you're?
No, we use Microsoft Exchange.
Okay.
I just haven't gotten a good AI app. I mean, we don't really need AI that much because most of the time, we're doing car accident demands and they're the same text every time. We don't
Yeah.
change anything.
Yeah. So Google has Gemini. That's their AI platform. And Gemini has what's called Notebook LM. And so what Notebook LM is, you start up a private chat with it, right? And you put the documents or the web pages. Now it'll only be one web page. So if you put a URL in there, it'll only pull from that one. So you put like a website that has 1,000 pages, it'll only pull from that one page. But anyway, it will only use the documents that you upload for reference.
Hold on. Sorry, I got a text from my employee. Sorry, I'm in California. Can
Nope.
you repeat that? Sorry about that. Would you?
Yeah, no worries. So
No. Yes, Notebook
so
AI. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, we had a probate matter where that was like really complex, and it was like 4 or 5 man hours spent citing going through case law and the statutes and all that to come up with the right answer. And then like the next day we discovered Notebook LM. We uploaded those documents and it literally pumped it out in like 5 seconds, the correct answer. And
Oh wow.
they had been plugging in
Hold on. What's it called? I'm gonna check this out. It's called Notebook AI.
Notebook LM.
Oh, Google. Okay, I'll have to try this.
Yeah, it's amazing because they had they had been searching, right, for the right answer. They had just used regular like ChatGPT basically, and it kept pumping out wrong answers. And then once we did this, it took our paralegals and attorneys about 4 or 5 hours to find the right answer. And then when we uploaded the documents, boom, literally within 5 seconds, it was the right answer. It was
But yeah, the
amazing.
key is uploading the documents. We actually have a case versus the energy company, the energy provider in Houston. So there was a hurricane about 3 years ago called Hurricane Beryl, and CenterPoint Energy chronically can never handle the catastrophic situation. I mean, the natural disaster that hits the city. So it took them up to 2.5 to 3 weeks to restore some businesses' power. So a lot of these businesses were restaurants and
Ugh.
med spa owners that lost all their product. So we filed basically a class action lawsuit against CenterPoint, and it's being defended, and it's in what you call an MDL, a multi-district litigation. It's not a class action. It's basically everybody's suing CenterPoint for the same thing and different damages. So they consolidate all the cases into one docket. It's called an MDL, and one judge handles it, all
Okay.
the cases.
Yep.
And one of the motions that the defense files at the beginning, you know how the defense at the beginning of the case always wants to drop it and they're filing technical documents and technicalities? They're trying to get it dropped on a technicality known as a 91A, saying that basically you didn't state enough facts on the sheet of paper. I mean, we won our hearing, but another lawyer on the case used, I don't know what he used, Chat GPT, Gemini, but he wrote an emotion, a response to one of their motions. And I don't know if he used Google AI or anything, but the whole thing was wrong. And the
Ugh.
defense spent about an hour with slides talking about how that's a fake site, that's fake law, that's not true, that's wrong. And they filed a motion for sanctions against him. And that's coming up next Monday. So I'm curious to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
really going to sanction this guy for $200,000 because he used Chat GPT?
Yeah. I mean, that's the liability when you use, because AI still hallucinates, right? And that's probably what happened with him. It just like literally hallucinates. So you have to be real careful. And we only trust it when it's pulling information from
What y'all
exact.
give them?
Yes. Right. So we upload the statutes, the case law, right? Whole bunch of documents. And it's like, okay, now ask the questions.
Yeah, once you do that, yeah, of course it works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it though.
It's amazing. It's a time. Yeah. For any type of research. Oh my God. It's a time saver a ton. Yeah. And then you can also like upload your own templates, like what you generally use. And then it's like, hey,
You know
draft.
what I did find was cool? I think it's Google Gemini. So when I write a car accident demand, I always put the picture of the car accident, like the damage to the car. And one time I was like, let's see if this works. So I uploaded the picture into Google AI, and I put identify all damage on the car, and like a like a what do you call them?
Like a
An
mechanic.
adjuster, like a
Yeah.
mechanic. It just starts listing everything that's wrong with the car from the picture. Then I'm like, related to my theory that my client was followed too closely and got rear-ended. And it's like boom, 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 boom. I thought that was cool.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I
You can
sent
just
it to the adjuster. The adjuster, like 2 hours later, is like, here's the money. Okay.
it's the funny thing, man, is that we're in the infancy stage of it still. And yeah, there's actually have you heard of Claude? Okay, so Claude is like ChatGPT. It's another type. It's ChatGPT, but another company, right? But they have a feature called Claude Cowork, which you can have it. What it essentially does, you give it commands or you give it tasks, and it literally works on your computer. It's local, so it goes onto your computer and does what you want it to do in the background. So you could like any, I mean, anything. Like when I was just testing it out the other day, I said, go on to my, I had a bunch of documents. My desktop on my computer was a mess. So I said, go onto my desktop, organize all the files and color code them and make it easy for me to
So it went onto your desktop and it did that for you?
did all of that. Yep.
Oh wow, because my desktop looks bad. I got like 3 screens and there's stuff I don't even know what's there.
Yeah, I literally like, I watch it sitting there going through and just like moving things around and creating folders, putting documents into folders. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. We're looking at, all of the random tasks that could be automated. Like one person was put a post out on Facebook the other day that it had Claude go through their emails, right? All of their emails, right? Read all of them, find out the I think it was like the 50 most common questions that clients ask them, and then what their response generally is. And so it did it. It pumped it out.
That's amazing. We can't help but think about all these movies. So when's AI going to take over the world and become self-aware and launch nuclear bomb? I'm talking about Terminator, launch nuclear bombs at Russia. Even though Russia doesn't have, I don't know what's going on with them and the nukes anymore, but you never know.
No, you never know. And part of this, Elon Musk talks about it with like whoever is creating these needs to be essentially ethical, right? And because it can be it can be misprogrammed to where
you could go into probably election. I mean, it'll get to the point where they'll be able to take money out of people's accounts.
100% can already do that.
Yeah, I assume they probably can. Yeah, it's scary thought, but it's cool. I'd like to have it around. Like my tech guy has one that you could like train him to do whatever you want. So like my paralegal's eventually going to law school. So I'm going to have to find a new guy to like train them to do exactly the way I want them to write everything. And wouldn't it be cool to just train an AI?
Right. You literally like that. It's literally there right now. Like if you provide the documentation, if you document how to do certain things, you connect it up and it's like, hey, for the, okay, I got a new matter, boom, take over. And bam, it'll just,
if I could like upload my demand and tell them, hey, you only change these 3 lines, and on these paragraphs, you only change this and this and this. Now here you change the date. It would be cool to just upload the police report and a statement or something, be like, make me my demand from the template I uploaded you, then it just spits it out.
It's 100% there right now.
Yeah.
It can absolutely be done immediately. Like,
yeah, I know it can. I know it can.
It's so wild. It's so wild. So right now I'm kind of knee deep in figuring out how to implement this for our law firm. And, yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of like, documentation and figuring out what we're going to automate, what we're not going to automate, and then programming it. And yeah, but like the whole Terminator thing, man, that thing, have you seen Tesla's Optimus robot?
Yeah, I think I have.
Dude, that's happening like within the next year.
Yeah, I think they have robots making Teslas.
Yeah. So you can
ultimately, the reason why I'm not switching to electric cars is there's not, even here in California, like we have an apartment here and we're staying here. The kids are on spring break. I still don't see any charging stations.
Oh, really?
So until I start seeing charging stations as much as gas stations, like if I don't want to have to drive somewhere and worry about not being able to charge, and I don't want to I don't want to have to drive 60 miles out of the way to charge my car. So once they start, actually having them in multiple spots, and I don't mean just at my house to charge before I leave, then I'll consider buying an electric car. Yeah. When that happens.
Yeah, my wife has a Tesla. She's got that Model S. The thing is, I heard
it's a beast.
Dude, it's 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60, 1.9.
Like, what do you need to go that fast? Like I have a BMW 7 Series and it's so fast that I'll get it every time I leave the city limits. Like I'm at 90 miles an hour on a 60 getting pulled over. Like, what do you need a car that's 1.6 miles?
You don't. It
doesn't have a transmission, so it's even faster than these supercars.
Right. I'll tell you what, when we've fucked around with it and floored it a couple times.
Have you done the launch mode?
Yes, that's what I mean. It's like a roller coaster. It feels faster than a roller coaster. You shoot you back in your chair. You get that knot in your stomach.
So you can feel the G-force.
Oh, unreal, unreal. But yeah, she has that, and then I have a gas car. So anytime we take trips, then
You take the gas car.
right,
So hence you
exactly,
see the issue that I have. So
totally.
eventually, if they want this to take off mainstream, they got to get more charging stations.
Yeah, we're pretty good here in Florida. Like if we wanted to go to Orlando's, 2 hours from us. We want to go there. There's two that I know of along the highway. I don't know if we drove to Miami. I don't know how that would be. But I think they're pretty well placed, at least along the highways here.
I haven't. I mean, I noticed in Texas they're not.
No.
I've never seen one out in rural Texas in between cities.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a problem, right? It basically turns into a local. I mean, my wife basically drives locally. Like I don't want to have to, if we're going to Orlando or something like that, I don't want to have to stop
You really
and
don't have to
charge.
stress about that, and then sometimes you have to drive. I know some people that drive like 30 miles out of the way to get to a charging station.
Yeah, forget that.
And
And then
how
you're
long does it take to charge the car?
it's about 20 minutes. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much for me. 20
That's too
minutes.
much.
Too much. Yeah.
Once they could charge the cars fast, when they have more charging stations, maybe 5 years, maybe 10, probably 10 years before.
Well, I saw something, it was like a year ago, where they're putting in charging on the highway road. Like, so as you're driving, it's literally charging the car.
How does it do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. But that's
Well,
what I
if the
saw.
cars could self-charge, then sign me up. Let's save
Right.
money on gas.
Right. California, man. How much are you guys paying for a gallon out there now?
Oh, it's $6.20. I haven't gotten gas yet. We're in a rental car. It's $6.26 for regular gas.
Jesus. What's it in Texas?
Last time I left, it was like when we left last Thursday, it was $5 a gallon, which is about the most I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Average is about three. Usually it's about $3.50 to $4 for premium.
God, man. You remember when it was like 99
I was
cents?
about to say that. Yeah, when I got my license, I would drive around aimlessly in the late 90s. I remember one time I got in a fight with my friend because I made him give me the $5 for gas all night long. And then $5. You would put
$5 would last you $5 would last you a little while.
Yeah, man, $5 back then. Like when I first got my license, and it was just aimlessly driving around. We didn't have a destination. We were just driving. And you would drive all night from 7 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning on the $5 in gas.
Yeah, it's wild. Oh man. Like, how old are you?
I'm 43, about to be 44.
Same. I'll be 44. I think 44, maybe 45. God, man, I forget.
I don't care.
September, I think it's 45. Yeah. Yeah, Tesla's interesting. We're actually getting solar panels put in tomorrow. Tesla.
Are you paying for them or are they for free?
No, we're paying for them.
I remember seeing that they would install them for free, Elon Musk was saying once.
No, we're leasing them. The setup fee is like $500 for the setup. But the thing that sold me on it was that they have battery packs. And so if there's an outage, there's a hurricane here, right? We get plenty of hurricanes in Florida, and the power goes out for a week. We'll have, even if there's no sun, right? The sun's just like, it's cloudy for a whole week. We'll have enough energy to last us a week.
So you don't need a generator then?
Nope.
You see, in Texas, you need a generator because the power gets lost so much. Yeah. And the people in charge of the power grid are so inept that you got to have a generator.
Yeah, that would happen here too. Like last year, we had to go spend, a week in Orlando during one of the hurricanes, just at a hotel. And I was like, shit, this is terrible. We didn't have it. Yeah. But that's what sold me on it. And it was actually going to be the lease payment was a little bit less than what our average monthly payment is now for electricity. So it's kind of a no-brainer, you know?
But how do they look? Are they sight for sore eyes? We have a brand new nice house. It's like 5,000 square foot in a nice area of Houston. I don't want to ruin it with solar panels.
I know it's a good question. From the pictures that I've looked at, the
Also, they haven't
test
installed it yet.
no, they're doing it tomorrow. The solar panels are literally sitting on my driveway right now. They dropped them off yesterday. But the pictures I've looked at, the Tesla ones look pretty sleek. Other solar panels I don't love. Yeah.
I love it. I have a Starlink at my house for
Oh, you
backup,
do?
and it's pretty reliable. I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's good enough that I could still zoom. The upload speed is a little bit slower than I want, but when because our house is so big, like I had to get all these Wi-Fi extenders,
Yeah.
and so we have like a firewall. So we have like three internets going into one. So when one goes down, the Starlink will kick on, or like the other one will kick on. So you won't know when they go down.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
But it's not, but we have one of the, I got like a state of the art, like new security system. Everything is online. So when you do lose power, when you do, the internet does go down, you can't even operate anything in your house.
What do you mean you can't operate? Like it
Like,
shut
I have like the Google Nest thermometers.
yeah.
And like one time, like it just shut that, like we lost internet at night. And in the morning, it wasn't back up. So it was hard to sync everything back on. It's just a lot to do. Everything
And
goes out.
that's because the power went out.
Yeah, because the internet went out.
Yeah, check.
I
Look
shouldn't have
into it.
done it. Whatever. Whatever. It's a brand new house,
Did
so
you,
I was like, let's install a state of the art security system with 4 cameras.
right.
Let's see if it's
Did you,
working right now.
did you build it?
No, I did. The security company did it.
No, the house.
Oh no, we bought it.
So you
No, we didn't
okay.
build it.
So you didn't do the design and everything like that.
Mm-mm.
That's one thing I want to do. That's on my list.
Couple
We just did a huge remodel on our house. We were out of there. We were in a rental for a long time, but 5,000 is big.
No,
You
yeah,
got,
it's
ki-
big.
you got kids?
Yeah, 2,
How old?
7 and 9.
All right. That's a fun age.
No, yeah, it's fun. It's a blast. I'm just
Yeah.
enjoying it while it lasts.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It goes quick. We got a 14-year-old daughter. And yeah, man, it feels like it's going fast. We're at volleyball tournaments almost every weekend, traveling all over the place. And dude, it gets draining, right? Like we were just up in Philadelphia last weekend for a big national tournament. I remember laying in bed, dude. I was so exhausted, and I was like, God, because now we have a tournament. We have a tournament. We were there last weekend. Now we have another tournament this weekend, all weekend. Like it's so exhausting. And
It's like my kids in cheerleading. They're not doing it this year because we're moving, but the cheerleading was like twice a week, and then on Friday, and I was on Friday at like 5:30 in the afternoon. So it's like you got to like leave work early and fight the traffic to get there, and then sit there for an hour and a half. So it's just like, man,
yeah, but
this
the
is
thing
time
is,
consuming.
what I was thinking in bed. I want to ask you about that too. Your anyway. I was like, you know what? This isn't going to last forever, and I know I'm going to look back at this at some point, maybe when she's 20, 25, whatever, and be like, I miss that, right?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
sure.
yeah. So you're driving your kids around.
Yeah,
You don't have an assistant?
I do, but I'm I don't need one like that. I'm not that inept. We do have a babysitter that picks them up from school in the afternoon
Yeah.
because it's just too much. I'm not leaving my office at 3 o'clock to pick up my kids.
Yeah. We have two golden retrievers, right? And it must have been in 2022. Midday they start getting antsy. We bring them to the office. So every day I was taking them for like a 45-minute walk to give them exercise. They're big dogs. They need to be exercised. At the time, my daughter was doing gymnastics, which was like 30 minutes away. It was 4 days a week for 4 hours each session. And so I was 2 hours of driving for me 4 days a week, and I'm walking the dogs. And so I'm like, so I found someone to start walking dogs, right? Take that off my plate. And then I was like, hey, we really liked her. I said, hey, any interest in driving our daughter to volleyball? She's like, absolutely. Then as time went on, my wife starts complaining about laundry, right? She's, because we're working a lot. And she's like, on the weekend, she's doing laundry. She's like, God damn it. I don't want to be doing it. So I asked the girl, hey, any interest in doing laundry? She's like, sure. And then we just kept adding things. And now she's like, she grocery shops for us, walks the dogs, straightens up the house, drives our daughter around. Dude.
Yeah, and I have a very messy family. Like it's impossible for them to, like, they just don't comprehend. Maybe they take after my wife or something. And my father-in-law doesn't even understand where my wife got it from, because her parents were divorced. Like they didn't have maids and people cleaning up after them. So like literally, like my kids and my wife will go to in the middle of the night to the kitchen and they'll make cereal. They will leave out the milk. And I'm just like, so you're trying to tell me that somebody was following my wife around at 2 o'clock in the morning, putting the milk away? Like, put it in the sink, put it in the fridge. Like, you're going to ruin it. And they're just so dirty that I have to have someone clean the house every day.
Yeah, totally.
Day.
Are you messy?
I'm not. No.
Are you like really tidy yourself?
I'm pretty tidy. I mean, I keep everything in the same spot.
So yeah, same.
So I don't really make that. If it's just me, like if I go home and I spend like 3 or 4 days by myself without anyone around, my maids will come to the house. They'll be like, and you need me to do what? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah. My wife and I are like you, right? Everything has its place in the house and we put everything back, right? Everything has its own place. Our daughter is like your family, dude. She leaves things everywhere. She takes something out. She either doesn't put it back or she puts it back in the wrong place. Drives us crazy.
And then they get out of school, and like I bought an area. We bought an area in the house. It's a big house. We have an area, and I have this little thing to put your shoes, and they just throw them on the ground. They just it's like a tornado when they get here. It's like, come on. It's like, I bought this. Don't throw it on the ground. And I have one room with really nice furniture. I'm trying to establish with my parents. I don't know if your parents had this. Did you have the room that you weren't allowed to go in?
The formal room, the formal living room.
Yeah, like, so we have a formal living room, but nobody seems to give a shit.
They don't care.
No. It's like a $9,000 couches that they're just sitting on with their shoes, playing on their iPads.
I know.
It's a lost cause.
Yeah, we bought like a $10,000 couch in this new remodel. And we've done a pretty good job with our daughter, because we're like, you are not eating on the couch, no shoes on the couch. And we've caught her a couple times and just like yelled at her. The other couch though, before we did the remodel, she destroyed it. It was just
like that's the old furniture at my old house. We just moved like a month ago. We didn't even keep it all. Like, it was ruined.
Yeah. We got rid of a lot of stuff after our remodel. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, we had this company that like we actually kicked out of the house. They're called the Clutter Kings, and they come and help remove clutter. But all they do is come with bags and tell you to throw everything away. So at the end of the day, like, we have bags of shit that they're throwing away. I think they're probably keeping it and selling it, and they're sending me a bill for $900. I'm like, $900, and all you did is tell me to throw shit away.
And then they're selling it for $5,000.
Yeah, but I mean, more power to the person that started the company. You know?
That's smart. That is smart.
They started an entire company about throwing shit away. They started up with some guy came over to some person went over to some person's house, and the person said, hey, can you help me organize my closets? And then they decided to start a business.
Yeah. Have you heard of Marie Kondo? No. So it was on Netflix, and it was probably like 2018 where we watched it. It's this little tiny Japanese woman, and she's got a book called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. And basically the whole premise is that you only keep things that, quote, spark joy. Okay. So that only things that spark joy. Okay. So we watched her show. She's super cute. we read her book. It's a small book, and we're like, hey, why don't we do this? So she outlines like step by step what to do. And the first thing you do is start with your clothes. And
Yeah, the stuff that you haven't worn in months, throw it away.
well, she says, take all every clothes item you have, put it in a big pile, one big pile. And then you go through, you pick up each item and you ask yourself, does this spark joy? Okay. And I didn't really get the concept at first. And I was like,
Sparking
maybe.
joy. I guess you're going to say that instead of have I worn this at all? But if it
Well,
still sparks joy, you could still keep it even though you haven't worn it in a while.
Yes. So here's the thing. I got to this sweatshirt that was raggedy that I just absolutely loved. And I was like, this fucking thing, now I get it. This sparks joy. And then I had, clothes that had tags on them still. And I was like,
now I have a workout Abercrombie shirt. I bought it in college. It's probably 25 to 30 years old. There's a hole in it. Is when Abercrombie and Fitch was really big. Remember that?
yeah.
So I still have it, and like I won't get rid of it.
You love it, right?
Yeah, I still work out in it. It has a cigarette hole where I burnt the hole in it with a cigarette when I used to smoke. So I'm not getting rid of the shirt.
Yeah.
Sparks joy.
Sparks joy. And so you do it with the clothes, and then you progress to the rest of the house. So we did it for every single item in our house. Every utensil and pot and pan. And
I was about to ask, so like how'd you do it with the forks? Did the fork spark joy?
Basically, yeah. Basically. Yeah. Do we love the silverware? Right? Does it spark joy? And we got done. And I remember sitting in our living room after it and like looking at the fireplace mantle. And before we did it, the fireplace mantle was just like filled with random shit, just random shit. And after we finished, the only things that were on the mantle were things that sparked joy. And it like the space felt so much better. It felt so much cleaner and just like more relaxed. And I literally liked looking at the shit in there.
Like my apartment here in LA, it's getting like that because I mean, without anyone policing my kids and us not coming here enough, I don't really tell them to like throw out the crap that they're just buying at the mall just to buy something.
Yeah.
So like if I ask my kids what toys spark joy, like there's a couple pieces of toys that my daughter won't let me get rid of. But one is this little rocking horse. She doesn't even fit on it, but she won't let me throw it away.
Maybe it sparks joy for her.
I don't know. But if I throw it away, then eventually it's going to be some random time when she's like 13 looking for it. And then she's going to tell her mom, and I'm going to get bitched at for throwing it out.
Dude, before we did this whole Marie Kondo tidying up thing, I've always been wanting to throw shit out, right? Always. My wife has been a little bit more on the hoarder end. She's not at all anymore. But we had these jars from our wedding. We got married in 2007. And this must have been like 2015. And I go into the garage. I'm like cleaning out the garage. And there's like 20 of these jars. I don't even know what they were, right? But they're all caked with dust. Super. I'm like, so I throw them out. They were the vases at our wedding.
But what do you need to keep that?
No, you don't. You don't. And so she comes home that night. The garage looks amazing. It was like so cleaned out, decluttered, all that stuff. First thing she says is, where are the vases? I said, are you kidding me? You haven't seen them for 10 years.
I know.
Yeah, she still won't let me live that down.
Yeah, it's like they're not wearing any of this. They're not, and like they're still baby. We have like baby, and we have like so many maids that they can't seem to put anything in the right spots. So things are always missing. Like I bought a brand new iPad like a month ago. That thing is gone. I have no idea where it went. But when you have too many hands touching everything, it is what it is.
Yeah. So you and your wife work together?
Correct. We do.
How long has that been going on?
Since 2020.
Okay. Same, right? My wife and I started working together then. How's it been?
It's fine. It's gotten easier.
Yeah.
It's gotten easier. Like the first couple of years, it was like a power struggle.
Yeah.
How'd
you resolve it?
Really, it hasn't really been resolved. I just don't mention it to her. Like
Okay.
if I want to get like recordings on our phones that when you're on hold, they're talking about, Rose Sanders Law Firm did this, we did that, you should call. I'm not even going to ask her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't bother her with things that doesn't need to be bothered with.
That's kind of where we're at. Um, yeah. I think for me, it's probably a little bit easier than for you because I'm not a lawyer, right?
I do, yep.
I have the business, I have sales, marketing, and business executive experience. So when we started, it was like a little bit like stay in your lane. Like she does the consultation, she does the legal work. I do everything else.
Yeah. No, like really with us, hold on. I'm on a podcast. I'll call you back. So she doesn't really deal with the day-to-day stuff. Like if it's a big case that's like worth it to her, she'll come in and work on it. But most of the time she makes me do everything. Like in our center point case, I got to do all the drafting.
Okay. So what is
You
she
know.
doing during the day?
She brings in business, just being herself. I
Yep.
mean, she'll wake up around 12, go to the gym, and then maybe come into the office, maybe call me, bark out some orders, and
But she generates business. She's good at
yeah,
that.
tons of generates, but she'll just go and walk and talk to somebody and we'll get a case. So just keep bringing in business.
Yeah. I do. That's valuable. That's super valuable.
And her
Who's it?
internet presence is the reason why I wanted to partner with her in the first place.
What do you mean?
So like she was kind of an influencer before influencers were there. Like before we started dating, she would be always constantly posting on Instagram on Facebook about what she was doing, like every day, like 4 times a day. To the point it's like, why is she doing this? But it was like before her time. And she's upset about it now because she kind of started this thing and doesn't really get paid. Not really an influencer, but has the same tactics.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's promotion. It is doing that is marketing.
I mean, she was on The Bachelor, and a lot of people know her for that.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah.
When
So
when was she on The Bachelor?
2006.
Wow.
And she was on like a couple other TV shows, You're Cut Off and Bachelor, and I don't remember the name of them. I don't remember the name of the other bachelors that she was on.
Yeah.
She's on Bachelor Pad. There you go, Bachelor Pad.
Do people recognize her?
Yeah, they do. People still do.
No shit. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Um,
And
yeah,
she has a knowledge panel on Google. And then I
a
got
what?
married to a knowledge panel. Like when you go, like if you Google me, like Charles Chuck Sanders, it'll be a little panel about me. It'll say married, Erica Rose, business, Rose Sanders Law Firm, born on this date. So when I got married to her, like I got Googled so much that I was like trending on. I got an email from my Google Analytics saying you were trending on the internet. And the next thing I know, there was a whole knowledge panel, like with and different pictures. You like Google me, there's all my pictures, it like populates from my Instagram. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So you were trending because you guys got married and people knew her and started looking you up.
Yeah. That's why I hired the PR. That's why I hired a PR agency because I need more PR.
Yeah.
All they have on me online, other than what I've done legally, is when Erica brought me on this TV show, that's Below Deck show, where they like it was just the worst experience of my life.
What was it?
It was below deck sailing yacht. So you pay money to go on a boat and they film you. And it's supposed to be about the crew. And it's all about the tip at the end of the shit, the tip at the end of the show. We were on the boat for 48 hours, not even. $5,000 a person, $10,000 a piece. So I thought 6,500 was a good tip for me and my wife for not even 48 hours on a crappy boat.
A tip. You're talking about like tipping the crew.
Yeah, like tipping the crew, actually
Okay.
tipping the Bravo reality TV star actors. They're not really crew.
You're supposed to tip them?
Yeah, so basically we had to bring a crew in. So Erica was only able to get like at the last minute, nobody I knew would pay to go on this show. Maybe they just didn't have the money. So we ended up getting some motley crew together, but nobody tipped. And since we were the charter guests, they basically took it out on me. So they said it was the worst tip in below deck history. And to this day, my Instagram just gets flooded with comments, and my Google My Business. Like, I went on a podcast once. I'm like, I'm trending again, and like we ended up sounding like 40 car accidents that month because, for some reason, the algorithm just kept showing our ad to everybody that month.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, like we don't trend like that anymore, but the Google My Business reviews won't stop bad reviews. I don't even know who these people, I've gotten used to it. But I was at a 5.0, never got one real 1-star review from somebody that didn't like what I told them over the phone. So we had that. But now, at least once every 2 weeks, we will get a review. That's when I'm on a podcast. We will get a review from someone I've never heard of that's 1-star. They used to say interesting stuff like, I wouldn't trust Chuck with an omelet, much less my personal injury case. Or, I can't believe people actually depend on these people for empathy and compensation and help. I wouldn't trust them in anything because they treat service industry staff so bad. Like, it goes on and on and on. If you ever have anything to do, go read my comments, go read my reviews. You'll see a bunch of good ones. And then you'll see one about me screaming at service industry staff because they edited me. Like, I gave them a lot of stuff. Like, I was yelling at eggs. I was like, you want me to complain? I'll complain. I didn't really think that they were going to edit everything together and make it look so bad. And the fact that people were going to think it was so real. Like, people really think I stiffed these actors. Like, think I stiffed these service industry staff, or they're just actors.
So they clipped it all together to make you look like an asshole, basically.
No, bad. Yeah, bad. To the point when, like, there was one, like, my wife's hairdresser wouldn't stay out of our business. And it got to the point when, like, 10 o'clock on a Friday, I'm like, listen, girl, I'm going to give you this warning. If you don't stay out of my business, there's going to be problems. I'm going to start treating you like a man.
What do you mean stay out of your business? What was happening?
Long story, but we were asked to, I cussed my mother-in-law out at the airport when she got me kicked off of a United flight. Like, they escorted us off. Like, I gave her my omelet, and she was sitting in like economy plus, and I was mad at my father-in-law for not paying for her. So I'm like, I'm not paying for your wife. So she was going crazy in like economy, and I was sleeping. And then she comes up, she's like, can I have your omelet? I'm hungry. I'm like, take it. So apparently the one of the flight attendants had gotten into it with my wife at night, being the only two blondes on the plane. They had to not like each other. So as a result, when the stewardess found out I gave my omelet to my mother-in-law, when we landed, they had the police escort us off the plane.
What?
Yeah.
For giving the omelet to your mother-in-law?
Yeah. I was so freaking pissed off. So never in my life have I ever been escorted off a plane. So I cussed her out. I'm not going to say what I called her. So she kept making comments about what I said. And I told her, I'm like, madam, I say madam when I'm serious with women. They get mad, and I don't care. I'm like, madam, it's time for you to stop. Stay out of my business, or I'm going to treat you like a man. I don't mean hit you, but like, so she wouldn't stay out of my business. So I called her a bitch on the beach. So her big fat ass husband comes up to me on the beach on camera. Did you call my wife a bitch? Yeah, I did. What are you going to do about it on camera? You going to hit me? I fucking dare you. All bleeped out. It's just, they somehow got a still shot of me standing like this with this big dude just talking shit to me. So it looked like I was talking shit to a woman. And then the man comes and says something, and I back down.
Yeah.
It made me look bad.
Yeah.
So that the Instagram comments don't stop.
So did you, after it came out?
It's been 3 years.
3 years?
Almost 4 years, yeah.
After it came out, were you like, this was a fucking disaster. I should have never done this?
Yeah. Yes, it was a disaster. Yeah, I should have never done this.
It sounds like
now it's been a couple years, and that area of below deck is no longer. They don't have a sailing yacht anymore. That season was canceled. That specific season, but it's still on. But people love the show.
Yeah, man. There's these reality shows. It's all about controversy, right? It's like just creating controversy. Did you have any idea that was something like that could happen?
I don't know why I was stupid enough not to think that. I thought I gave them a bunch of really good stuff. I thought they would edit me okay. But all I really had to do is, I remember they asked me, hey, this tip is a little low. Do you want a tip? You want to put like some money on your Amex? I'm like, no, I'm not giving y'all any more money. Going back, I should have just given them the money.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have edited it different.
Yeah. Possibly. Who knows? They care more about the ratings than your tip. Controversy sells better than not.
Yeah, whatever.
Huh. So the PR that you're doing, like the company that you hired now, what are they mostly doing
They're
for
getting
you?
me on podcasts and on Core TV, doing making commentary on random cases. And today I have a Daily Mail article where I actually get to talk about like Below Deck. So we're just trying to get some other stuff out there. So if you Google me, it's not saying, Charles Sanders is worth millions, is a successful lawyer, but left a shitty tip on Below Deck. That's like
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
That's the article that's on me. It says
Oh,
I'm worth millions, which I don't know if I am or not, and I left a bad tip.
God, that sucks, dude.
And these people, like, why do you want to mess with my business? Why do you want to go on my Google? Why do you make a fake name to give a bad review? Like, it's a fucking show,
It's evil, dude. It's fucking evil. It's like this is your livelihood, you
and you
know?
can't take them down because, like I was telling you, that's another thing that I deal with a lot. Bad Google reviews, dude. There's nothing that I could do if someone writes you a bad Google review. It's a
Yeah.
First Amendment right. It's a forum where you're allowed to give a review. There's a reason why Google never takes them down. So they just stay up there. And it messed
Yeah.
with my numbers. You're a business guy. You're in charge of marketing for your firm. That's a big thing. Dropping from 5.0 to 4.3, we don't show up anymore. That's another reason why I stopped marketing so much, because it doesn't, like, I'll never be number one for Google Maps. It's impossible because I'm just going to continuously getting one for every 3 good reviews I get 4 1 stars of people I don't know.
Are they still coming in like now?
Yeah, they still are.
God damn.
I just got one like 2 weeks ago, a 1 star. Never heard of the guy.
God, that sucks, dude. I talked to
You have no idea how enraged I was when it was happening. I was
I
in a
don't
rage,
I would
enraged.
I'd imagine. Yeah, that would be yeah, we have almost like 290 some Google reviews, and our rating is at 4.9. And yeah, several of the 1 star ones are people we're like, we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, and I always give a nice comment. I always have Chat GPT or AI like write me something. I'm like, I don't know who you are. We've checked our records, and there's no record of you ever having been a client of Rose Center's law firm at any of our locations. And to top it off, you didn't tell me what was wrong. I value your feedback. I want to get better as a business, but I can't when you don't tell me what I did wrong.
Yeah. And they don't give a shit. They don't.
No, it just keeps coming.
Yeah. God, well, I hope the PR stuff helps. Are you how many reviews do you have?
Let's see. I think we were at 258 most recently. Oh yeah, I'm in California, so there's no GMB. There's no, my Google My Business doesn't show up here.
It's in Texas.
Yeah. There, yeah. So we got 258 and we're at a 4.3.
Yeah.
So let's just see some of these.
I wonder how many like how many more 5 stars you would need to get.
Oh, I did the math, something like another 105 stars, but you can't get a 1 star. Like I tried that. I
Yeah.
tried soliciting for reviews and I got about 40 of them, but the 1 stars just won't stop. Okay. Some of these are real. Here we go. I'm going to read you one by Haley Kanuk. Never heard of her. Absolutely vile human beings. If you need a good lawyer, please use anyone else. Screams at service industry staff and anyone else they think are below them in order to get they want mainly for free.
Screams at service staff. That's from the show, right?
Yeah. Absolutely vile human beings.
God, terrible.
Owners are rude and have no manners. Will never, they spelled never, or work with someone that puts down other people. This person I never heard of says, make sure you do your research before you hire any attorney. And I agree with them. I'm like, you're right. You should research it.
But he gave you a 1 star.
Yeah. 1 star, some of the most disgustingly behaved humans I've ever seen. I pray that no one actually defends on these people for justice, financial compensation, and empathy. That's pretty brutal. That's just 2 of them.
Yeah. How'd your wife take all this while it was happening?
Mad at me.
Yeah.
Blame me. My fault.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, that's terrible.
Oh, wow.
Terrible. But I mean, you
But
got
as a
hire.
marketer, so you understand like how horrible that is to go from a 4.9, 4.8 to a 4.3.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurts for sure, especially if your competition is in the 4.8 to 5.0 range.
I don't understand how you could have 500 Google reviews and not one negative. Come on.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. I don't know how people do. They most likely have a bunch of fake reviews coming in. Yeah.
But it wouldn't do anything for me. I've considered that. I've considered buying fake ones. I've done campaigns where I've gone and texted every friend that I know and got them to give me reviews. It doesn't really work. But I mean, it doesn't affect business anymore. I mean, it did for like a month. But I mean, now that time has passed, I mean, I asked people like, did you read my reviews? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you saw them, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you're still using me? He's like, yeah, who cares about what you did at a restaurant, apparently.
That's good then. Yeah. So
Weird.
if it's not, I mean, if it's the main thing,
if you're one of those people that are gonna not hire me because it's a bad review, oh well.
Yeah, especially if it's a review about a TV show you're on.
Yeah. So,
well, good. It's not affecting business, so
not anymore.
Right.
I mean, it did because we were all digital. Like every case that we got, we had the perfect setup. We were at the top. We were at the top of Google. I mean, our ad was always being placed in a good spot strategically. We were just getting good. Like Google was delivering. It was delivering 10, 15 awesome cases a month. It was a little bit of money, but now if I pay that same money, I won't get the cases. It won't work. Google, it doesn't work for me. Doesn't matter how much ad spend I pay. My ad will not be
because of the reviews.
Yeah, for Google My Business or Google Maps. It's physically impossible. I can't. I mean, unless I paid enough.
Local service ads.
Oh, they're horrible now for me.
You can't. You couldn't do them. I wouldn't suggest doing them. But what about search ads?
Search ads. I'm just not going to pay what I have to pay to get it to the top.
They're expensive.
In Houston, car accidents. Yeah, right.
Anywhere is expensive for that. How much do you know how much it is in Houston for that?
360, 400 a click.
Jesus.
A click.
A click, call, right.
A click.
Right.
No, that's okay.
What's your average case value?
$10,000. Minimum limit. The minimum limits you have to have in the state of Texas to drive a car is $30,000 per person, 60 for everyone in the car. So if you get the case and they're hurt, they say that they're going to do what they're going to do, and you settle the case for the limits, you get 10,000. The lawyer gets 10,000 out of the 20, and that's the average.
Okay.
So it does pay off. I mean, you do get your ROI, you do get your return on your investment, but it takes like a year, and I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm just not going to waste the money.
It takes about a year to settle?
No, I mean, just to get your money back.
What do you mean?
By the time every case settles and you actually get a return on your investment from the 1 month that you spend. So it takes about 3 or 4 months. It depends on how fast the client goes to the doctor.
Okay. So from the time someone gets in an accident last week, right? They call you up today, retain you. The timeline is about 3 to 4 months. Is that what you said?
Yeah, depending on how fast they could go see the doctor. And then assuming that they pick up their phone when they're being scheduled for the MRIs, and they go back to see the doctor again. And then he says, you got to get an injection in your back. And then by the time they pick up their phone and get scheduled for the injection, get it, then go back to the doctor for a follow-up. And then we get all the records. Could be 3-4 months, could be up to a year, depending on how long it takes them to get it done.
So it's a lot of it depends on the client.
Yeah. Like they'll call me and they'll say everything right. I'm hurt. It wasn't my fault. There's a police report, and it's not their fault. They claim to be hurt, but then they get the imaging. It shows the disc herniations in their lower back and their neck. They go back to see the doctor. The doctor's like, now you have to do pain management. You have to get your injection. No needle will go into my back. You know what that means? That means that you couldn't keep up your lie for the insurance company. That's my ultimate pet peeve. That's the problem. Is that when the rubber hits the road and you're claiming to have a hurt back in an accident that you want money for, but you're refusing the treatment that the doctor is recommending. How well do you think that's going to go with the insurance adjuster on the other side?
So the insurance adjuster is just like, they didn't keep up their treatment. They're faking it. Is that essentially? Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. That's the difference between getting 12,000 on a case and getting the full amount. Just one shot.
That's wild.
And I always, try to tell, and I'm very careful with my words over the phone. Like I can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do.
Sure.
But what it really tells me, because I used to be an insurance adjuster, and we used to have this meeting all the time, and I used to tell all my colleagues they couldn't keep up their lie. It's easy to sit in a tube and get imaged by radiologists that are looking to make you hurt. It's another thing to actually go through with it. Like you're claiming to have a hurt back and you're wanting $30,000 when the doctor's like, we want you to try an injection in your back. You're like, no. It's like, I have cancer, but I'm refusing chemo and I'm crying about it to everyone. I want you to feel bad for me dying of cancer, but I'm not seeking treatment. How are you going to feel? How bad are you really going to feel for someone that refuses chemo when they have cancer?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more serious than.
So how often do you have a client like that refuses the treatment? Is that like 50% of the time?
Probably 35% of the time.
Okay. That's frustrating.
So they essentially have wasted all my time.
Right.
Because they're not going to get paid. They're not going to get paid what they want to get paid. They're going to get mad at me and then leave me a bad review saying that they weren't happy with their settlement.
Yeah. Now, are you able to do you prep them? Like, hey, look, you got to follow through with all the doctor's treatments.
The best that I could do, I say, hey, you need to listen to your doctors. And then when they refuse the injection, I say, you do realize that this is how it looks to an adjuster. Sometimes I talk sense. Sometimes they go back and they get it. Most of the time they'll be like, I don't care. You can't make me do what I don't want to do. I'm like, I'm not trying to make you do that. I tell them I could care less what happens with your case. I could care less. I'm in my $5,000 home in Memorial. I could care less that you don't want to get your freaking injection. I could care less, but I do care.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you get 35% of your cases are doing that shit, then you're going to start caring.
Yeah. Now, if they're pregnant, we could pull it off if they're pregnant. Like, let's say they're pregnant.
Yeah.
And then the doctor recommends an injection. You can not get it. And the doctor could write a letter saying, yeah, we were recommended an injection. She didn't get it this time. She's going to have her baby first, and then she's going to have it. Then, okay. That'll work.
Yeah.
But I've never figured out a way to get these small cases settled without injections.
What's the biggest case you've ever had?
We had one. Well, we just settled it for 15 mil. It was a bus accident case. So it just turned into something bigger than it was. It was supposed to be this big. So basically it's a drive-in, drive-out daycare center. Like you would drop your daughter off at a daycare and they're in charge with providing like a little snack, busing them to their school, picking them up, and then dropping them off at the daycare center, and you go pick them up. There was a bus crash during transport.
Did someone die?
No, they're just kids had traumatic brain injuries, and it turns out that the driver increased her speed from 37 to 40 before slamming into all the cars. And it turns out that she was being texted at the time of the accident by the owner of the daycare center. The kids weren't strapped in.
There's a whole comedy of errors going on.
A whole comedy of errors. It was like an iceberg, and they lied about it. You have to cover it up with the Texas Department of Health and Human Services. So we got their lies on an app. We got all blatant lies from them. They even admitted they lied.
Yeah. Do you 15 mil, huh?
Yeah.
Man, that's great. That's a good.
You got a house out of it.
Yeah. It's a great payday. Have you had others that are close to that, or is that like by far the biggest?
That's the biggest so far.
Like by
It's
far.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get a lot of money in these cases. I know like
Sure.
lawyers advertise it like it happens every day, but it doesn't.
Right.
It's hard to get $1 million. Even if
Yeah.
you have $1 million in medical bills, it's hard.
So, do you do anything with medical malpractice?
Our firm doesn't handle it because the state of Texas is not like Florida. I used to be a medical malpractice defense adjuster, and most of our cases were in Florida. And in Texas, they've just capped it to the fact that the most that you can make on any single medical malpractice case is 250,000. That's going to barely cover your costs. Think about how much it costs. You got to have a doctor testify that this doctor breached the standard of care. So you got to get him to cancel his clinic and come to trial. $20,000 for a doctor to some of these fancy doctors to cancel their clinic for the day and come to the trial.
Yeah.
So imagine that, but with 4 or 5 different doctors, and the
Right.
most you collect is 250, because like you get your contingency fee and you get your expenses back. So by the time you're done, you're not going to have any money for the client left. So that's why a lot of people don't take them. You have to really have a passion for it.
Yeah, I think that Florida used to have that cap, and then they got rid of it.
Florida got rid of it. I actually lost my job. I used to work as an adjuster for Gallagher Bassett, and we did medical malpractice claim for self-insured malpractice care, self-insured carriers. We had one case where a lady was getting cut open for a C-section at University of Miami Hospital, and she just bled out right there and died. And then we were, as an adjuster, it's my job to get the case and find the experts. And we were looking on our roster, and it was a list of doctors from all over the country. We could not find one doctor in the whole country that would say, your doctor did not breach. None of them would testify to that. It was so bad.
Wow.
And I remember telling the committee, you have to go in front of a committee and make suggestions like, hey, I suggest that we go to arbitration or settle this matter, or else we could get hit at trial. The witnesses are bad. Like our insured doesn't present well. They didn't listen to me. We went to trial. We got hit for $40 million, and they fired me at the end of the case. They fired me. Even though my notes say go to arbitration, and I filed the paperwork with the committee for the authority to go to arbitration. They said no. They thought they could.
How much would they have settled for, you think?
Probably 10 million at arbitration. 10.
Yeah. Jesus. And then they're blaming you.
They fired me. They fired me. Best thing that ever happened to me was getting fired from that job. So imagine not being able to find one doctor in the whole country that will take your position.
Yeah. And then you're trying to defend it. It's like crazy. Yeah, we know there's someone we know here who had misdiagnosed with the flu, stomach virus, when they actually had appendicitis, and appendix ended up bursting.
That's pretty bad.
Pretty bad, right? Sepsis, all that stuff. Yeah. So
I had one case where the lady she wasn't represented, but I was handling this one insurance company's group of unrepresented people. It was the most annoying account ever, having unrepresented people dealing, because they have special adjusters for people that are unrepresented, as opposed to people that have lawyers. There was this one lady that was making a claim that she claimed that she was awake the entire time during her surgery. Like apparently the propofol didn't work. She was awake. She could feel it. She could smell the doctor's breath, but she couldn't say anything.
Oh my God.
So I can't imagine. I don't even know if that's true or not, but it sounds pretty brutal.
Imagine that. She could feel like she was in pain, but she was like,
Yeah.
what, paralyzed? Couldn't move?
Yeah, she couldn't move.
Oh my God.
Absolute horror stories about doctors.
That would be a horror story. I remember in high school, I mean, this is minor compared to that, but playing baseball, broke my nose, right? So my nose shifted over and up. So they had to do surgery to put it back in place. I remember laying on the hospital bed, and the doctor comes up, right? They had the IVs in me and everything. And he comes over with these metal rods like this. They look kind of like shoehorns. They're thinner than shoehorns, obviously. I'm laying there, and he takes them and puts them in my nose, or he like this, and then he just shoves it up my. I'm awake, and it was like, right, and then I just like, then I went out, and I don't know, like if he thought the anesthesia was working already or not, but oh my god, I'll never forget that. It
Do
was
they
like
take it? They're supposed to do a timeout. You're supposed to do a timeout. You're supposed to like time out and wait for the anesthesia to kick in before
he
you
did
start.
not.
But
This motherfucker did not wait. Dude, I was pissed. I was pissed. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so
Well, Charles, it's been great talking with you. It's been it's been a very enjoyable podcast.
thank you. I'm glad that
Yeah.
I can make it enjoyable.
Yeah, you're very entertaining. Very entertaining. Cool, dude. Well, yeah, fucking. Hopefully, this PR company handles all this shit for you. Bullshit. Yeah, dude. Just keep flourishing and prospering. Just
Yeah,
go
I'm not
help.
worried. I'm not. I can't control. I can't control 1-star reviews to my business. I don't even get mad anymore. I don't even pay attention to it anymore. I don't even care.
Yeah, just
It
keep.
used to bother me so much, but now I'm just like whatever.
Yeah, dude. Just keep doing good. Keep doing a good job for your clients, and just start killing it in life. And things always turn out good when you do that.
Oh yeah, I know. All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. I
Of
really
course, man.
appreciate it.
Of course, it's been awesome. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye bye.